Hey everyone, Metal Scholar here. I just wanted to celebrate my first 100 coins and rounds that I reached recently, and I wanted to showcase what those were. Over here we have some generic rounds that have a specific logo from the mint that they were created at. So one side has a unique design, but then the other side has just a very prominent logo from the mint. In the back here, this pile right here represents some generic rounds that don't show a mint logo very prominently, but they created something unique, so they sort of hide their little mint mark somewhere in there. These right here in the front represent my movie-themed coins and rounds. And then over here would be my sovereign mint. So you've got your silver eagles and maples and such. So I'll start over here and just showcase some of these. Of course, you'll recognize this brand, very popular online brand. And then on the other side, I noticed it had this really cool draped flag over the cross of Christ. And it says, "One Nation Under God." So I bought several of these when they came out, and I really like those. Another SD Bullion round is the one where it's got the Liberty Eagle. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I added that to my stack. This one is from 2020, and this was from the Scottsdale Mint. And you can see some really neat security features. When you turn it, you can see the 2020, and you can sort of see the lion right there. And then on the other side, it also says reserve, and it's got this really cool lion. So I got a few of those. And then of course, this was one of the first online brands that I would buy from pretty frequently. And then this has just the basic APMEX logo. And then I got one from Sunshine Mint. And on the other side is just a really cool rays coming out like a sun. So those are I call those, like I said, my generics with a very prominent logo. Now moving over to the very generic, I mean, almost every mint has the buffalo. And so I've got over 20, almost 30 of the buffaloes. They're pretty much the same, although some of them have a more matte finish than other ones. Some of them seem a little shinier, and just depends on what mint it came from. But so I've got several of those. And then in this pile of generics, there's some pretty interesting ones, I thought. For example, we have a Mercury dime theme. I like this one. And then when you turn it over, I mean, it looks just like a dime. So I like to collect some that are unique, that look kind of different. And this is kind of like a barber dime. It's got the barber dime theme. And keeping with other U.S. coin theme, this is a 1 ounce silver round with Abraham Lincoln, the 1 cent. Of course, instead of saying 1 cent, it says 1 ounce. So that's kind of a unique one. And then I had two NASA ones that I picked up. 2 different designs on them, and on the other side they have the same kind of image of an astronaut planting the flag, and then we've got an eagle above. So that's kind of cool. And then I picked up another generic. I think this was a Christmas present from my mom. Yeah. So there's a Second Amendment one. And then here's one, the Liberty Bell. And then this one is kind of a special one. My wife's uncle gave this to me. This was actually the first round I ever had. This was probably about 15 or 20 years ago, before I was into stacking. And so I remember when I started stacking, I said, I think I have an Anthony Hardaway from the Orlando Magic that I need to put in my stack. So I dug through my junk drawer and found it, and gave it a capsule, and so this is actually technically my first round that I ever received. And then I have a bunch of these generic Morgans. You know, no date because they're just rounds, but got a good pile of those. So those are my generics that don't have a mint, you know, third-party mint like prominently written, but if you look really close, you'll see the little 9 for 9 mint. You'll see SMI or other logos. So generic, and then of course world coins. So everybody's got some world coins, of course. So I've got a nice little stack of Silver Eagles from various dates. So I've got several 2022s. I've got some 1991s in there. So those are my Silver Eagles. And then, of course, I've got some beautiful Britannias. I mean, I think that's my favorite shape. Not so much with King Charles, although, you know, it is what it is. But I do love the image. It's just so beautiful. I'm lucky not to have milk spotting on these. Knock on wood. You never know. I do have some maple leafs, of course. Probably one of my favorites when it comes to world coins. So those, I have a few of those. And then I was surprised that I didn't have a Philharmonic. So I remember making an order and I said, I gotta at least have one Philharmonic in the stack. So this is my one Philharmonic. And then finally, I've got the Kangaroo. So I've got about 3 of these. So, and then to round it out, I like to keep it interesting. So I am kind of a movie geek. And so I have 2 identical rounds from the John Wick series. I just love the Continental coins. I think they're pretty awesome. So I have 2 of those. They're obviously the same on both sides. And then I've got a cool E.T. one. Great movie. I like the back too. It literally looks like craters in the moon. It's so cool. And then a beautiful Lord of the Rings. This one is got Gandalf on the front. Cool. And then the One Ring to Rule Them All. It's got the ring there. And then I'd have to say my favorite, of course, are the Star Wars ones. So I got into stacking in 2020, really. And this was one of my first Star Wars ones my wife got me for Christmas. So, of course, Lord Vader on one side and the Queen on the other. And then, of course, I'm a Gen Xer, so to me this looks like IG-88. But, you know, watching The Mandalorian, of course, we know this is IG-11. But that's okay. He's a bounty hunter. And then, of course, we've got the Millennium Falcon. Sweet. Millennium Falcon. I love that these are coins, too. It's pretty awesome. Of course, Boba Fett. Great image right there. Super cool character, of course. And then, of course, we have the Rebel symbol. So, there it is, everyone. We've got 100 coins and rounds all together. I keep them all in capsules, as you can see, and I also put about 20 in each of these tubes, and I'm already on to my next 100 coins and rounds. I've got several other ounces in bar form and in bigger coin form, which I can show in another video, but I just wanted to sort of document the first 100, and if you're working on your stack, I'm curious to find out which ones you're collecting and which ones you're saving. As you can see, I have mostly rounds, and I've got probably about 60% rounds and maybe about 40% coins. So please let me know in the comments, are you at 100? Anyway, I'd be curious to find out what you enjoy the most, maybe what your favorite one is. I kind of already mentioned mine. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so my favorite was for sure my Darth Vader, Lord Vader. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and comment. If you like content like this and seeing videos about silver and gold and precious metals. So this is Metal Scholar saying dream big, dream often, and then go do it. Metal Scholar over and out.